You alluded to it, I think, right before we started recording. You have your own podcast, The Rockin' Tours, with Guy Pratt.
Yeah.
Which, you know what, I don't promote other podcasts on my own show, but that is an incredible show and you should be very proud of it. And you posted about one particular sequence with Mick Fleetwood on your show, where he kind of just casually mentioned that he would love to get Lindsay back in the band, but it really comes down to his beef, quote unquote, with Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
You have your own version of that, obviously being an incredibly globally successful band. And this idea that, you know, what's really stopping certain members from getting back on stage together is a beef that could be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years long. What is your take on that? Like, I mean, let's start with Mick. When he told you that, what was your immediate reaction?
My immediate reaction was, that's cool for our podcast.
Well, you know what? It made headlines, so well done. I will give you that.
Look, okay, I'm gonna give you an example of something, right? Imagine when you are 20 years old, you go to your first job and you walk into an office and there are 4 other guys in the room. And then someone says to you, you're going to have to work with them and stay in that room for the rest of your life. That would be ridiculous, right? You'd go, get out of here, right? I'm not in prison, you know. So why would anyone want to work with the same 4 people for the rest of their lives? It makes no sense to me. You know, and I think everyone needs to understand that, you know, it's not about us. It's not about them. It's about us, you know, and what individuals want to achieve and do with their own lives. And I'm sure there's a lot they want to achieve and do with their own lives outside of that band they were once given. So when they fall out, some of that is to do with the fact that they've been under pressure from everybody to stay together. And so the staying together when you don't want to is what makes you fall out. You know, I think it's very hard for once you've grown up and changed as humans to then have the same stuff in common and stay together creatively. You know, the hierarchy and the chemical balance that you all had when you were in your 20s and decided upon, oh, he writes, he plays this, he's the best looking, he can do the pictures, he can do the interviews. You know, that everyone's vying for the same thing when you get older. They don't want that hierarchy anymore. So the balance is gone. Also, you know, people say, oh, you should get back together. What's wrong with you? You know, like even now, you know, I put stuff up about my solo album. And some people who really piss me off, to be honest, say this would sound great if it was with Spandau Ballet, or get back together with the band. This is, you know, this isn't good enough. You should be with Tony, should sing this. It's like, give me a break. Let me do my own thing. If you really liked the band, then you would like what I did as a songwriter. You would like my contribution, because without each one of us, it wouldn't have existed. So why are you being so mean and pathetic? You know, and I shouldn't get angry because the vast majority of people have been really kind. But what these people are really saying is not get back your band in that sort of, you know, policing me kind of way. They're really saying, give me back my youth. I want to be 15 again, and it's up to you to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I can't, man. I can't do that.
And I think that's the thing, is especially for casual fans, they just want their favorite bands to always be the best of friends.
Yeah, but were they ever in the first place? Because I don't know whether bands get together because they're friends. They get together because he's the only guy you know that can play drums. You know, he's the guy with the leather jacket who's really tall and he can sing. Get him in the band. You know, it's not like, oh, listen, we're really all great mates. Why don't we form a band? It never works like that. Yeah. So I think there are very few bands that get together and are all really close friends. They may give that impression because that's a really good thing to do. You know, I don't want to blow the myth here, but it's absolutely true. I mean, look, the Beatles set this thing up where you saw them on screen and all 4 of them were gagging and joking. And it's that camaraderie of humor that makes you think they must be all mates. But I don't even think the Beatles were all mates. And 7 years later, they were all hating each other and going to court. You know, so that was a kind of look. The Faces, they do the same thing. All these bands, the Stones, you know, this idea of they're all mates, you know, is something that is part of a band's PR.
Is that something that you learned I guess, being involved in it, or once Spandau were coming up and touring, and as you said, meeting people like Bowie in your backstage scene of like, oh, okay, great, these guys aren't best friends. This is all very smoke and mirrors.
No, it's something you learn as being in a band. When I was in a band when I was 11, I was in a band when I was, I was in a band when I was 14 with guys much older than me. We were just together because we were musicians, and we could create something that was really nice and unique and wonderful. But maybe we wouldn't go out for dinner with each other,
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we'd prefer to go out for dinner with some other people, or go to football with someone else, So it's about, but you can put me with a great keyboard player right now. I don't even know the guy, and we can make some amazing music together. But he might not be a guy I want to be a friend with. So this is all I'm saying. I don't want to drag this conversation on forever, but it's a kind of yeah. I think I learned that from a very early age. That's not to say we spent all of the 80s abusing each other. We didn't. We had a lot of laughs and really good fun together. And even when we got back together, we curbed our, we got on as best we could. But we are very different people.